Oh, this is going live. Says we're live. Hey, everybody.
Hey, what's up, guys?
It says
and
we're
gals,
live.
everybody.
Hey, so we just watched a very interesting episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot to say here. I don't know how many people we're going to get on this one. We had a lot last week, but what we're going to do here is just basically go over everything first, and then we're going to look at the comments, and if we have enough to go over and talk about stuff. Well, this was an interesting episode of Game of Thrones. There will be spoilers on here just in case this is your first time checking this out. We only have a couple people watching right now, so we're going to reiterate this quite a few times. Yeah, I'll put spoilers in the comments here.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not what I expected, which I'm usually okay with. Like, you can never really know what to expect with Game of Thrones
I spelled
episodes,
spoilers wrong. Spoilers. I said
Spoilers.
Did I spell it right this time? Spoilers.
There you go.
I can delete this. No one will ever see it again.
I wish I can like that.
Yeah.
So
we got a couple people watching. I don't know if it's going to be like last week with people watching this, but we're going to be just talking about it. Let's give a preface to this from last week, so we get enough people coming in over here. So last week was the big Battle of Winterfell episode, which was the end of the Night King and all this stuff. And it felt like a climax to everything, kind of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I said this last week, I don't care about Cersei. I don't care that, I mean, I do a little bit, but after the Night King stuff, like that should have been the final thing in my opinion. And so that was kind of just a big shift that they were going to be making, and we knew that was going to be coming because the Battle of Winterfell was only the third episode out of 6, so we knew that we had a few more coming after that.
Yeah.
What was the name of this episode? I don't even know.
The Truth has a ring to it.
The Truth has a ring to it. Okay, so this was another very long episode. Yeah. This was 78 minutes. So it was another very long episode of Game of Thrones.
18 minutes.
One of the longest in the show's history. Instead of focusing on all battle stuff and everything that was happening last week, this is all character stuff that's going on. David Nutter directed this episode, who also directed the first 2 episodes. So, by the way, I don't know if anyone likes Smallville or just this act, right? I do too. But the actor in general who played Lex Luthor, Michael Rosenbaum, who also voices the Flash and all the DC animated stuff, DC animated universe stuff from back in the day.
Yeah,
he has a really great podcast called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
What is it?
It's called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Okay, that's what I thought you said,
right.
But
yes, and he always asks his guests, "Thank you for letting me be inside of you today." So it's a great podcast. One of my ones I would listen to every single week. He had David Nutter, the director of not even these 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, but he directed the pilot of Smallville, like dozens of pilots, and a lot of them have gone to series. He's kind of like this miracle man with that kind of stuff. And he's directed a ton of episodes of Game of Thrones before this, and getting to hear his perspective on some of this was very interesting. So if you want to look that up on iTunes or whatever, it's called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, a really good long-form interview with the director of this episode, so you should check that out if you get a chance. So we got about 12 people watching right now. That's cool. I think we should just get into it, right?
Yeah.
Any things from last week that held over for you before we go into everything?
Well, I mean, I just wanted a little bit more of an explanation. You know what I mean? Like for how abrupt the ending was last week, and I just expected like a little bit more of holy shit, Arya killed the Night King. Like they were talking about, oh yeah, she's the hero, but it's just like, are we gonna get conversation about that, or it's just like, yeah, she killed him, hooray,
huzzah!
Yeah, like that's what I wanted.
They had a cheers. They had a little Arya, the hero of Winterfell.
But like we don't get Arya talking anything about it other than that was, oh, it's better than dying. I just killed the Night King. It was better than dying. Like,
right.
What? That's it?
Right.
That's what I wanted from last week's episode into this.
Okay, what were you expecting? Like anything else that you were like leading in? Because we knew this wasn't going to be a big battle sequence or anything like last week.
I expected just the aftermath, dealing with the lost, the friends and family, and
sure, which we opened up on.
Yeah, which was great. It was a good open for sure. But I just expected like the character building, the character stuff, and more specifically Danny and John having it out, so to speak, for whatever, however they're going to deal with that.
Right, that's what you're expecting going into.
Yeah. So sure. I mean, that was to be expected. A lot I didn't expect. You go ahead.
Okay. So let's just well, what I was expecting going into this was like basically what you said is kind of a build-up episode to like these last battles with Cersei and whatever's going to happen at King's Landing and stuff. So this was going to be like a long-form version of maybe like another character-building episode like we saw in episode 2 right before the Battle of Winterfell. This was a lot of moving parts happening though. There's a lot of jumping around to what's happening. It's not just all character stuff. There's some battle, like very small battle sequence stuff in it.
Yeah.
And then we jump to King's Landing. We jump back to Winterfell. We go back and forth. We go to Dragonstone. There's a lot of stuff. We're at sea for not a lot, but for a good portion of this episode, for a major thing that happens. But yeah, so I was expecting just build up, and I wasn't expecting much. I try to go in this series with an open mind and everything. I have defended this show.
Oh yeah.
Especially the later seasons. From a lot of people who hate like the direction that it's been taking,
yeah,
right?
Season 6 on.
Yeah, since they broke from the George R.R. Martin books, and I've defended the show. I've said that I like the direction they're going for the most part.
Yeah. I've been on board almost with everything. Like there's stuff that it's like, oh, that sucks. Like it sucks in terms of what happens to characters.
Yeah.
But as far as direction from the directors and the writers, like I've really never had anything that I didn't like from the writers.
Right. Okay. I mean, I've had some small issues, but
I mean, like, okay, yeah, Shireen, that was
I just think that was a step too far. I mean, that was just like that was the moment I almost stopped watching Game of Thrones. Shireen's death. It just kind of got to me too much. But I think we talked about that last week, maybe. Anyway, let's get into I think we've been on for about 7 minutes here, so we're going to get into the episode. So. Like I said, I defended this show a lot. This is the first time that I was not on board with an episode of Game of Thrones. Like there's still exciting stuff happening. There's still stuff that I'm invested in.
There were good scenes. Like there were definitely good scenes in this, but
but for me, this is my personal opinion. I'm not speaking for Porter. He can speak for himself here in a minute. But I really disagreed with a good chunk of the choices that were made in this episode. The big one to me was Brienne and Jaime.
Yeah.
That kind of pissed me off.
It was so unnecessary. And the fact that in this episode 2, when Jaime knights Brienne, that story arc was closed. And we had a story arc just reaching across multiple seasons with 2 very different characters that come together and were together a lot of the time, and we did not have anything overtly sexual between them at all. Their entire story arc was built on 2 characters having an arc together, regardless of the fact that they're male and female. There wasn't any need for any type of sexual story with them. And we finished it out on episode 2 with that, and that was a great way to kind of cap off their story arc. A lot of us thought either of them or both of them were going to die in episode 3. Which didn't happen, which I'm okay with. But
yeah, I guess. Well, now I'm kind of not okay with it. I think Brienne should have died defending Jaime or something now. Okay. You have this great arc with these 2 characters, with Brienne and Jaime. Like you said, that was not overtly sexual. That maybe there were like little hints, like maybe I didn't even pick it up at all until this episode.
No, especially like they were in the tub together. That tub scene they went to
one of the best scenes of the whole show.
Yeah, absolutely. They're both naked and no sexual tension.
Well, Jaime just had his hand cut off. Yeah. He's telling Brienne about when he killed the Mad King and everything. So
like he's
naked. Not in the mood, I don't think.
Yeah, but they're naked and there's still no sexual tension. There's there's nothing that needs to be in that other than just the story, and it was such a good interaction.
Right.
But
Okay, but that's the main thing that made me angry. There's other things that were like I disagree with, but this is the main thing where I'm just like, yeah, you had an opportunity to have a relationship between a male and female character that was not sexual, that could have, like we were all invested in, that we all like agreed was built on mutual respect for one another, and it didn't matter that it was a male and female. It was just these two characters that we loved and we followed for so long.
Yeah.
And the fact that they hooked them up in this episode
rather ridiculously, just
it's just that
because
drinking game. And as soon as I saw like they're gonna make her drink, and like we had Tyrion and Jamie like, I knew this shit was
yeah. As soon as Tyrion said you're a virgin, it's just like, well, he just said that. Let's lob this softball in the air so they can hit it out of the park with this stupid ass story arc.
Well, they did that. They slept together and everything. They try to pay off the thing with like Brienne was never liked by men growing up, and like she was humiliated several times. And this is kind of a closing thing where like a man finds her attractive and stuff. That's all great, but like that never seemed
that
important.
wasn't their
to her.
relationship.
Well, yeah, but it never seemed important. That was never like a goal for the character or a want for the character. The want for the character was to be respected and to do what you want him to do, which was basically
be a knight.
Well, not even really be a knight, just be a noble, kind of like a upstanding person who's a warrior.
Yeah.
Like in the last episode, I don't think she ever really wanted to be a knight. In the second episode, that was just kind of a thing that happened. That was great, but still, I don't think that was that big of a deal. I mean, it was a big deal, but wasn't a big deal in terms of her long-term arc. You know what I mean? It was a good moment for Jamie and Brienne, and just this other respect character building moment. But it wasn't like she didn't need to be knighted to be important.
Yeah, she was already. Yeah,
that's my point.
Her honor and her service towards the Stark women and that's
sure. That was kind of like just her honor is her main thing. But you hook them up, and then you reduce her to whimpering, crying as Jamie leaves to go do whatever with Cersei. I don't know if he's gonna go kill her or try and convince her to stop or whatever's gonna be happening.
That was such bullshit.
I really didn't like that. Wouldn't it have been more powerful if they maybe had like a little sprinkle of a hint of like a eye connection or something, that maybe there's a little bit of a romantic connection between them, and then when he's going to leave, she goes to stop him, and she's not like going out in her freaking robe like with her hands like coming out at 1 a.m. with a cup of coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
She goes out there and tries to stop Jamie from leaving and tries to get an answer about things, and Jamie does basically the same kind of thing because he just not really affected by this in this scene.
Nope.
And she's angry, trying to make him stay. Jamie leaves anyway, and like we see her just standing there alone. She's angry, and we see like a single tear or something. Yeah. Wouldn't that have been more powerful than her?
Yeah, if she had gotten pissed and like maybe even hit him, like I would have been like.
I don't think her hitting him.
I would have been okay because that's in keeping with her character. Mm-hmm. I can see her just decking Jamie like, you're being an asshole. Stop being an asshole.
Yeah.
There's people who care about you here, and there's nothing you can do in King's Landing. You can't save her, and I don't think you can kill her.
Instead of like
stay here,
holding his face and being like, "Yo, good man.
Yeah.
Remember when I was badass?" Yeah. I'm not saying these characters can't have heart and stuff. I mean, like crying is not a sign of weakness. I don't think. But in this situation, I think it was because you hooked them up. I hated that.
They only hooked them up to have the reason for her to be crying at his exit. Like, there was no other reason for that.
Right.
Like, I even told him I was like,
severely disagree with that. So that's the main thing that I wanted to talk about. But
I would have been okay. I would have been better with Brienne hooking up with someone if it wasn't Jamie, even if it was Podrick. I would have been okay. That would have been weird. It would have been weird, but she would have been like, oh, I've been hearing these things for years. Like, what's it all about?
I'm not down with that.
It's better than than Jamie and her because that does not fit at all.
Yeah,
at all.
Mm-hmm.
That was a terrible decision.
Yeah,
she's gonna be with anybody. Be with Tormund.
Right.
Giant ginger babies.
Yeah, I was really pulling for some. I knew it was unlikely, but I was like hoping something would happen.
Yeah, as soon as Tyrion said virgin, I could almost see her like slamming down some ale or whatever, and then looking up at Tormund and be like, all right, fuck it. Let's go, Ginger.
Right. Anyway, let's separate from that because that's not the biggest thing that happened in this episode.
No. It was the most annoying.
we got to talk about the Danny-John relationship. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments, which we'll go back and look at as we're going through the review here. What did you think of what's happening with Danny? Do you like the arc that they're taking with her? Do you like that she's becoming sort of this jealous, strange angle that they're taking on the character of John after finding out, and like the spreading of the disease of knowing that John is actually Rhaegar's son, the true king of Westeros, quote unquote?
Yeah, there's many things in here that I'm not a fan of. Him and her, Danny and John talking, him telling her, and him basically being like, "I don't want the throne. You know that. I know that. But I'm going to be who I am, even if that is now Aegon Targaryen. I will denounce the throne, and I will, it'll be great." No, you can't do that. That's not what's going to happen. Like, I get that part. It works. It's in keeping with what I thought was going to happen. But her saying, like, you need to denounce, you can never tell anybody. If you do, it's going to take on its mind of its own. It's like, wow, it's kind of an ultimatum, like with Danny, and I didn't see that coming from her. Like,
even if he doesn't want it, yeah, like people. I mean, it's been shown visually, not even just in talking scenes, that people gravitate to John, and Varys says it later that people are drawn to him because he's a war hero. He's got a Stark mother and a Targaryen father, and that's like the way to hold on to the North. The only way to hold on to the North.
I completely agree with, but the fact that the fucking Sansa, man, killing
Sansa.
Period.
I mean,
dude.
Well, Danny knew that was going to happen, and she said to him, and she was right, and I knew she was right, even though I didn't like the way it was broken to him. Like, she said, like, there is a way that we all could live together in peace, and this is it. If you don't tell anybody about this, so there's obviously some mojo problems also because they made out a little bit. But John's like, "You're my aunt," and she's like,
like I don't care."
Well, she said she kind of didn't care, but she was also like, "I wish you didn't tell me."
She wished she didn't tell me because she's got to deal with it now, but she still wants it. She even said she wants it to be how it was before.
Well, it's impossible.
If he shut up and didn't tell anybody, they would have been still like before, and she would have been happy, even though she's his aunt.
Right.
It's just like,
and this all leads to, it's like a splintering effect because John tells Sansa and Arya, which, man, that scene was great, build up to it, and they cut it off right before Bran told them. Why would you do that?
That was so
I couldn't believe that they did that.
We were both just yelling like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was a wrong decision, man. I know that we've seen it before. We saw John tell Danny, but hearing it coming from Bran to tell Sansa and Arya and seeing their reaction.
Especially Arya. I really wanted to see Arya.
I wanted to see the reaction there, man. Come on.
I could see her going, "Oh, okay.
Well,
You're still my brother."
Like, no,
you're my
she
brother.
would be affected by it. She wouldn't just be like, whatever.
I'm a faceless man.
I'm a faceless man. Nothing matters to me.
It doesn't matter. I killed the Night King. Who?
No. Who killed the Night King? This girl? Or this faceless man, I guess. Yeah, I hated that. We didn't get to see the reactions from everybody. And then we just see, Sansa tells Tyrion tells Varys, and it's like 8 people know or something that's at that point. So that's splintering off. And the fact that Jon's a secret Targaryen is now out in the world, and we're going to see what happens with that going forward. Obviously, that's the main story point now.
Yeah.
Is going to be whatever's happening with Jon and Danny. And it looks like they're leading to either someone killing Jon for Danny, which this is my friend Harry, my best pal, suggested to me that Daario Naharis is going to just show up randomly with like the Marine battlefront and is going to help Danny or something. And I was like, that'd be unexpected.
Yeah.
If Daario comes back, though, he's definitely killing Jon Snow for Danny.
Absolutely.
Because that gets Jon out of the way for Danny and Daario to maybe hook up again. But more importantly, he knows that this has to happen, and she's not willing to kill Jon. So, like, he does what has to be done.
Yeah.
Right? He does what has to be done. You want
the throne, this is the only way to take the throne.
Right.
I'm going to kill this dude.
He's like, you don't want me to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe she even executes him or something for doing it, but he knows that she wanted him to do it.
If Jon Snow dies,
unlikely.
If Jon Snow dies by Danny's hand or Daario Naharis, like, I'm just going to lose it.
Well, that's one thing. And the other thing is that someone's going to kill Danny, Arya maybe, as, like, she's kind of losing it. And I don't know if she's going to go full Mad Queen, but, like, there's going to be some confrontation with Jon and Dany, and Arya's going to kill her or something like that. And then we saw Arya went off with the Hound now, so they're re-teamed up, which is a nice moment we got to see. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Although the one thing I did want to touch, there were good parts in this episode, more so in the beginning. But Sansa with the Hound, talking to the Hound, great scene.
Yeah,
Great
fantastic stuff.
You know, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot in here that I like, but just the big choices were just
Right. Tyrion talking to Varys was a compelling scene.
Oh yeah.
Going back and forth about who they think should be the true king of or ruler of
And
Westeros.
who's better for the people? And
right. And Varys said, and he's been, you know, to Varys's credit, he's been like an underhanded guy, kind of like trying to weasel in and out of certain things, but he has been on Dany's side, and he told it to her face, and he said that he was going to tell us to her face that if I thought that what you're about to do is a bad idea or it's wrong, I'm going to look in you in the eye and say it, and he did that.
Yeah.
So he's been upfront about these things. Now that scene at Dragonstone with him and Tyrion going back and forth about what should happen was compelling for a lot of reasons, because Varys is seeing that Jon is, like I said earlier, he's a war hero. He's got a lot of people behind him
he would
and love
be
him.
the better ruler.
Right, because he doesn't want the throne.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point. And I mean, a good person wouldn't want to be responsible for all these people.
Yeah.
Who in the right mind would want to do that? Well, Dany, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And the reason
that
why they're
stuff was
having
very interesting.
these conversation at Dragonstone and all that stuff is because we had the big ass shocking scene with Rhaegar and the Golden Company, Rhaegal,
Right.
and the Golden Company being at Dragonstone, or no?
Well, they just set off. I
wasn't
think that was it after that.
No,
That was after that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was after. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, before that, the build up was Rhaegal getting killed.
Yeah, that was a big shocker, because it was just Drogon and Rhaegal flying,
and then just
and
out
then
of
just
nowhere,
a chest piercing pole right to the sternum.
yeah.
And then gets him a
Got
couple
one in
more
the
times,
neck,
and
And
Rhaegal's dead. Goes straight
that
into the
was
ocean. So we got
wow.
one dragon left.
that
one
is
dragon.
rough.
Yeah. So that's going to be the main force for Dany going forward, is just going to be Drogon, and that's it.
And now she knows that they have a fully offensive weapon against a dragon. Like they can keep him at bay, especially because they have so many of them. And
Right.
so that's a really big deal for her. Now
Right.
that's just fueling her rage even more.
Right, and they took Missandei as well. We shouldn't skip over that. Missandei
Yeah.
was abducted by the forces of
Euron,
Queen Cersei,
Euron Greyjoy.
and brought back to King's Landing, and that's where the big jumps come in, kind of. And we go back to King's Landing, and Missandei's already there, and she's like on top of the gates of King's
wall,
Landing,
yeah.
and they have the hand-on-hand combat going on.
Yeah.
The Hand of the Queen versus the Hand of the Queen. The creepy man himself, Qyburn, and Tyrion comes out and tries to convince him to speak reason to Cersei, and I'm just a mouthpiece for the Queen. I'm just a creepy weird
He's like,
guy.
all right, well, screw you then. I'm gonna walk by you.
Right. And then they go and have that conversation, and it's a very tense thing, because they're all like got their arrows pointed right at Tyrion, and it's like, is this gonna happen? Probably not. I don't think we expected that, but it was a little tense scene. Tyrion talks back and forth one more time with Cersei. She doesn't say anything, I don't think. Did she say anything? She just like grabs Missandei's arm and says, if you have any last words, this would be the time to use them.
Yeah.
And Missandei just says, Dracarys, Zombie Mountain, who looks even more zombified than before.
Maybe
his eyes are like all red now. He just looks a little bit different, even more like kind of scary. And he beheads Missandei, and she falls off the balcony. Grey Worm can't even look. So there is
that was rough.
That was a rough death for sure.
Missandei, like
we had Rhaegal, and so there's two big deaths that happened in this episode too.
Yeah.
So some stuff happened.
Man.
So we saw the preview for the next episode, which was not much. It's just like them gearing up for another war. I saw David Benioff and DB Weiss on Jimmy Kimmel a couple days ago, and they're talking about the Battle of Winterfell and stuff. And like Jimmy Kimmel straight up asked them, "Are we going to see the Night King or something with the White Walkers come back?" And they said they're not going to answer that, because obviously if they were, they wouldn't say it. But if they didn't, still, you don't want to spoil what's coming.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah.
But is that a possibility? I want to hear from you guys. Do you think that this is still a possibility for the Night King or the White Walker forces to return in some vein? I don't know how. Maybe like it's an infection growing inside of Bran or something, and then he turns into the Night King. I don't know. I'm still kind of upset that was the last thing, because we never knew anything about them.
Yeah, I really wanted.
It's the Snoke of the Game of Thrones universe. You never do anything about them.
Yeah, that's good.
So I don't know. Maybe that's going to be explored in the prequel series, like we talked about last week. But I'm still kind of salty about that. And even from last week, talking about the Battle of Winterfell, the more I thought about it, we were on such a high on that immediate reaction from last week that I still like the episode. I still like it now. But a lot of the flaws revealed themselves the more I thought about it. That was kind of the thing when the first time I saw Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Oh,
and
don't even get me started.
we're not going to dive into it, but it's kind of like that same kind of thing where I saw it. I was like, that was okay. I kind of like this and that. But the more I thought about it, I was like, wait, no.
That was stupid. That was stupid. That was dumb.
Or just things not matching up. And that's the same kind of thing that happened with the Battle of Winterfell for me. I still like the episode.
Oh,
just some of the things
favorites.
I was just like, I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but there's certain sequences that I loved in that episode that definitely are some of my favorites for sure.
And for everybody saying how dark it was and how much they couldn't see it, I heard from a guy, he apparently was able to watch it in 4K, that it was absolutely dark. Gorgeous. Yeah,
sure.
My
friend Harry again watched it, and it was on this last time we did it. He was here for one of the episodes.
Yeah.
He watched it like in this theater, and like it looked great too. So yeah. I think it's just them not coloring it or like doing the post-production work on it to make it look great across all TVs and stuff maybe. Yeah. But we're not really going to talk about that one. We got to stick on this episode here. Overall, I was disappointed by a lot of the character things that happened in it. I disagree hardcore with what happened with Jaime and Brienne.
Yeah.
Them turning Daenerys like this, I really don't like, because I really liked Daenerys before this.
And I feel like she's going back on like, the wheel. I'm just going to break the wheel. It's like, yeah, we need someone to break the wheel. She's
just going to burn the wheel now.
Yeah, but
they don't. Her advisors don't want her to burn King's Landing because all the people are in there. Cersei's smart, bringing everybody in there. But again, what were you about to say?
But also, like with Sansa still being bitchy to Daenerys and all this stuff, it's just like, all right, Sansa, you need to chill out. Like, you guys are alive partially because of Dany. Mm-hmm. Dany needs to realize these people aren't going to like you for a while, and you got to take the high road and not, be all bow down to me.
Right.
And they both need to just suck it up and be adults. Mm-hmm. And so that it's like, okay, all right, come on, let's get past this. But Dany going down this kind of darker path and this more and more now vengeance, and this is my throne. I'm gonna do what I need to do to take my throne. I think a lot of that's coming from her thoughts of on Jon and all that. So now she's going to be more rough and more ready for my throne. This is mine. I feel like she's going to be more possessive over her title and her destiny. And it's going to cause her to be more rash.
Well, that's obviously we're seeing that play out, and that's probably going to be her downfall in some form, or she's going to rule as a broken person or something like that.
I saw something for last week's episode. It was a list of people who they thought was going to die and who wasn't going to die, and it said that Dany was absolutely safe because there's still 3 episodes left for her to become a villain. And I was like, oh, I don't see her becoming a villain. And then this episode we get done, it's just like, damn, she might become a villain.
Well, she might. Oh, one thing we got to mention too is Gendry being made not just Rivers, I think was the bastard name for that area he was in. Now he is Gendry Baratheon, Lord of Storm's End.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was good.
That was a good moment. We've seen similar moments like that throughout the series, but that was a really good one because we all really like Gendry.
Yeah.
And even more important after that, he professes like his love for Arya. Come be the lady of Winterfell, or not Winterfell, of Storm's End. And obviously, I knew she was going to say that's not me because we've heard her say that before. She's not a lady. She doesn't want to fill that kind of role.
Yeah, no.
And she kind of just like picks him up from his knee as he was proposing to her, like kisses him, and like she's like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, you're gonna make.
I'm gonna go with the Hound. Happy.
Yeah.
So that's over apparently. I don't think we're probably not going to see Gendry again. I don't see why he would show up.
Oh, speaking of people we're not going to see again potentially, Tormund, Sam.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them leaving. Yeah, man, leaving Ghost and like to the true north, whatever.
Yeah, past the wall.
Wow.
Take Ghost? Like,
You're not bringing Ghost? Was that a budgetary concern? Or
yeah,
like,
right? They just got rid of the
oh,
dragon. They just got
man.
rid of CGI Wolf.
Come on, dude. You gotta take Ghost.
The budget's tanking. I
Jeez.
could see not taking Ghost to the south.
I
to
get it,
King's
but I mean, just
Landing,
for a little while.
But at least keep him in the north. It's gonna get cold there.
Well, he's gonna be in the
so
north. He's just gonna be
I
really far north.
keep him in Winterfell. Like, have him guard over Sansa for
Yeah,
crying out
that
loud.
would be cool because like all the other direwolves are dead, right?
Yeah, and it's the fucking Stark sigils a wolf. Keep the wolf at Winterfell.
No.
What?
It's got to go up north. This was right for Ghost.
Yeah,
He could run free up there. He could do it.
He could do.
And Tormund, we're probably not going to see again unless
Although-
he pops up again to help Jon somehow, like
Maybe.
against Dany. I don't know.
Could be. Oh, we have one
Um,
more thing to do. We do have to talk
what?
about
What is
after this. But yeah, Tormund. If we do not see him again, I'm
What a
glad
great
he
character.
survived.
What a great
Absolutely, I
character.
love Tormund.
And Sam impregnated Gilly.
Impregnated. Yes,
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
So good boy, Sam. Congratulations.
Good boy, Sam.
Good boy, Sam.
Yeah. Interesting
Samuel
stuff.
Charlie.
Samuel Charlie.
Samuel Charlie.
Samuel
Oh,
Charlie. It's quite
my.
cold up there, Samuel Charlie. Yeah, so like
that was
Gilly's
good.
pregnant. Now he's got 2 kids to take care of. He better get to work at the Citadel. I don't know if
Yeah,
they make any
right.
money up there. What's going on? But he's got 2 kids to support now.
One thing we do have to talk about that we forgot about is the scene between Jaime, Tyrion, and Bronn.
Yeah, saw someone just bring it up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
hey,
the
thank
Rookie
you.
Critic, thank you.
Thanks for the super chat. We have super chats open. If you guys want to donate, you can. But like, we're just here to talk about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, just having some fun.
You don't gotta do that.
But
Thank
we
you, though.
appreciate it,
Appreciate
though.
it,
Thank
man.
you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so Bronn was just basically sauntering into Winterfell with a crossbow, like, all right, you bastards, listen up. And it's just like, what a badass that can just ride north and get into Winterfell, find them, and walk in with a crossbow without anybody saying, how do you do?
Yeah.
Like, one, that's great. It's one of the reasons why I absolutely love Bronn as a character.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, I was so nervous that entire scene. Like, I seriously
He's gonna
thought he was
kill
going
one
to
of
shoot
them.
someone. Probably Jaime.
Yeah, it was a great scene. I like the back and forth there. So, like, what's double of the Tully's place of River Run? Highgarden.
Yeah.
So Highgarden is up for grabs now if Daenerys wins, I guess. All right, I think, did we cover all the stuff? Let us know
I'm
if we
pretty
missed
sure.
something. But I think that's our overall thing. Here's my bottom line, folks. I don't care about Cersei. I'm sorry. I do not care. Like, she's a good villain. It's going to be, it's not like I'm totally uninvested in what's happening with the rest of these last 2 episodes. Damn.
Yeah.
Last 2 episodes of the series, but I just don't care that much about Cersei after what just happened with the White Walkers. I mean, like, that should have been the final thing. Maybe 1 episode after that for an aftermath thing. But we didn't need, come on, man. We didn't need, like, Cersei to be the final boss here. Come on.
The final boss.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna get that Clegane Bowl thing now. That's probably gonna happen now. They're probably gonna kill each other.
I mean, honestly, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. Thanks again.
Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate the Rookie Critic. Really appreciate it. Anyway, yeah, I'm just not like a huge fan of that. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to wrap it up with these last couple episodes. I'm looking forward to it still. Still a big Game of Thrones fan. I think maybe it was a budgetary concern why they didn't stretch this out a little bit. I mean, this could have been a 10-episode season. I think the budget was probably the biggest thing because they spent so much on these huge battles that they're having. But I think that the story needed a little bit more room.
Yeah.
I think we need a little bit more room here.
I mean, so far.
From the way that they've told it.
We
so
do
far.
have 2 episodes. We know that they can get a lot done in an episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they might be able to pull it off in 2 episodes. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally, I wasn't invested. I'm not invested in the Cersei stuff quite as much as I was the Night King stuff. I'm not going to be on the edge of my seat. I don't think.
care that much.
I care. I still
care, but I just not that much, man.
Not as much as the Night King stuff, but I'm still really invested because I love these characters. And this, I mean, I know you said earlier when we were talking that basically Jon Snow's arc is done. That's what his entire arc has been for the series, has basically been with the Whites.
Yeah.
And the Night King. And that arc
that's
is
been
done.
That's been his whole reason for being, kind of, was that. And now
Even
there's
coming back.
Right, and now what comes after that? It's an interesting question, but like for 3 episodes we gotta deal with this?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm
it's
okay
gonna be
with it.
interesting. I'm still gonna watch it, obviously. I'm never gonna like drop off of this. We're so far in now.
And this is also
But
like
I was just disappointed by this episode.
from episode 1, the Starks versus the Lannisters has been pretty much set up since episode 1.
Right.
So seeing this with Jon there, and the North is basically coming at the South, like I'm still really invested. I don't agree with a lot of the decisions on this last episode, but I'm curious to see where we go. I'm really curious to see who survives, and I hope it leaves us, at least mostly satisfied, because there's no way you're going to satisfy everybody. And then Game of Thrones can leave you with like a straight up knife in the heart as far as how they can end this. Like they could just kill everybody and be like, it's Game of Thrones, everybody dies, what did you expect? So I mean, I just hope we get at least some type of.
We'll see what happens in these last 2 episodes. I think that's all that I wanted to say about this one. Did you have anything else you want to mention before? I was going to open up to you guys questions or anything like that.
I think that's it.
Okay. So any questions or any comments that you guys have, we're going to be looking more at the comments now. So go ahead and drop your stuff in there if you have any more opinions about the episode. What did you think of what's happening with Brienne and Jaime? What did you think of what's happening with Dany and Jon? With Missandei, I want to hear you guys' opinions. If you have any, go ahead. We're gonna go and look at some of the old ones while you guys type away right there. If this laptop mouse thing works.
Got Pedro Roscoe saying good episode, actually way better than The Long Night. I'm gonna disagree with you.
I don't think
for reasons we just said. I wasn't a huge fan of their decisions, but I was way more emotionally invested in The Long Night.
For sure.
So, but, respect your opinion.
Harry Flynn. Hi, Harry, if you're still watching. We'll talk about Yugi. I don't know. I don't know if Nostalgia Critic ever is going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Nick Kurtz in this episode, love is an afterthought. Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Well, yeah, because Jaime leaves and all that stuff. It doesn't matter with Dany and Jon. Like, love is not the main thing here.
I'm not sick of Dany, as Nick Kurtz says. I'm not sick of her, but it's just like, all right, like, come on, let's keep it moving.
Arya kills Dany? Maybe. I could see that happening for sure. I wish Sansa
I'd be okay with that.
I wish Sansa could stop bitching a bit and be more friendly with Daenerys. I'm kind of on Sansa's side, honestly. I mean, not like I don't see Daenerys' point and everything like that, but I kind of more on. I'm just from the character perspectives and everything. I see more of Sansa's point. Like, if there's one kingdom that should be able to rule itself, it should be the North.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It should be Winterfell.
Yeah.
Like they all convene there to defeat the White Walkers. Without them, like the White Walkers probably would have taken over the entire realm, right? Yeah. So I think I see Sansa's point a little bit more. That's just my opinion.
But I think she could be a little bit more diplomatic with it.
Right. Dany's getting way more likable. I hardcore disagree with that.
Yeah.
Nick Kurtz is sick of Dany. Can we get some more dragon eggs?
Yeah.
What if we just had another dragon egg just pop up? What if Jon just like lays a dragon egg real quick? I didn't know I could do this too. Oh! And it's like a snowy dragon egg.
A white dragon egg?
Yes. And Daenerys has to crack it open.
That would be ridiculous.
And then they introduce time travel. The Avengers come in, they bring the dragon to the future and like make it age and stuff, and then they bring it back, and then it's a full-grown dragon.
Awesome.
And they call it the Stark Dragon.
That's what's up.
Right? It's the Iron Dragon.
The Iron Dragon. I like that.
And they hook up with the Starks and the Starks. Oh!
Yeah. He's got a
new fanscription.
Infinity collar.
Yeah.
So
maybe they killed off more dragons to save on budget, maybe, because I know they spent so much on this season, especially on the Battle of Winterfell episode.
Devin and Condor, how did Tyrion know about Cersei's pregnancy? Euron think about it?
She told him about it. Or she didn't exactly come out and say it, but Tyrion figured it out when they were having that convene thing at last season, I think.
Yeah.
When they brought the white to
when they were all talking about it. That's when she told him.
So
she should be showing by now, right? I mean,
I don't know. She might just be lying. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. Was it Bro Rhaegal?
Yeah, that was rough.
I think is that Pat? Might be our good friend Pat Guider.
It is Pat.
Yeah, Rhaegal is dead, unfortunately.
What's up, Pat?
I lost faith with Bronn.
Oh, I'm totally I love Bronn. I love where his story is at right now, because I can totally see something happening with this.
Mhm.
I could see him killing one of them.
Right.
Jamie before Tyrion, but if
Right.
he leaves him with no choice, I could see Bronn
Right.
killing Tyrion, and I'll cry. I will cry.
Tormund, I see you're open now. That was a very funny scene. Didn't turn
Yeah.
out the way I think anyone wanted.
No.
Hey Dan, good to see you too, man. Please burn
King's
King's
Landing.
It says Kong's Landing.
Kong's Landing.
God, that's a whole nother movie.
Yeah.
King Kong's Landing. Oh man, let's see that. And yet people wanted to see. I don't know who.
Her dying Winterfell. I think you might have been talking about Brienne on that one.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think it would have been at least appropriate. I would have kind of preferred that to what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, if it worked, it worked. I guess if she had to die.
Danny may die and Aegon lives. Yeah, we'll see. Danny will die since she's turning to the Mad Queen. I don't know, man, because they always talk about how the show is going to have a bittersweet ending, or it's not going to be. What does Peter Dinklage always say? He's like, if you think that this story is going to have a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. So maybe she is sitting on the Iron Throne and she becomes her father at some point, and that's
that'd be
the end
nuts,
of the show.
dude. I would be.
I could see that. But I mean, like I said, the creators of the show were on Jimmy Kimmel, and one of the things they said were they're going to go to like an undisclosed location with their wives, turn off their phones, and not be available at all for this ending. So I think something really bad's gonna happen.
Oh shit! I didn't know that they said that.
They said that.
Basically, it's like, all right, we're gonna be unreachable from everybody who's gonna be pissed at us.
Right. I mean,
that's not.
I don't envy them either, because this is like, how are you gonna end this without George R. R. Martin like being on hand to do the exact ending that he wants to do? I know they're using elements from what they wanted to end it with, or what he wanted to end it with.
Yeah.
But I don't envy them, because they're gonna piss off a lot of people no matter what at this point.
Oh, and if these books ever do finally get finished.
Maybe.
And if depending on how the books actually end, like, yeah, that's gonna be a rough. Be rough for them.
Nick Kurt says, I like the idea. He leaves with her a note saying that. Oh, I think we're talking about Brienne.
Yeah.
Rides up to him, smacks him, gives him a goodbye, and Brienne holding back from crying but still strong. I would have.
Much better. Not just randomly crying, not randomly crying, but just having her cry when it's not in keeping with her character.
Right. Blood is thicker than water, but not your aunt. You're right. Let me see.
If Dario comes back, Danny would be like, Danny, oh, hello, new bae.
Maybe at this point, I don't know. That is. I don't think that's going to happen, but it is an interesting thought.
Immaculate conception of the Ice Prince. By
Oh
Cersei.
yeah, let's see that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she births a new Night King.
I want a chest burster with a little ice hand.
No. My mom ran out of the room crying after the dragon got shot. Oh, I'm sorry, Nicholas.
I couldn't believe it.
It was a shocking
in front
thing.
Of my TV.
It was a shocking thing. I thought Cersei was going to push her. I thought that was going to be happening too, but she's so much of a coward that she gives it to.
I was so pissed,
to
and
cut
like
off her head.
I knew that there was no way Miss Sandy was going to come out of that alive.
No,
and it's like, if Cersei at least pushes her off, or like maybe stabs her in the back a little bit, like I would feel a little bit better with Cersei. Like, okay, at least you did it yourself. You know what I mean? But then she has the freaking mountain. Oh man, like that! I was so pissed.
Nicholas also says, honestly, the way the show is going, they could go for Cersei winning just for the emotional factor. I wouldn't be surprised if Cersei somehow wins. I guess. I mean, like, she's gonna have some kind of comeuppance.
Yeah.
Maybe she wins. Maybe everybody dies, and that's not even an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are Danny fanboys. Sorry, Nick. I'm not like the biggest Danny fan. I don't know where you got that from. Honestly, even though I had not seen a single episode of the show, I think that apparently there have been far better shows in this same medieval genre, but for families. I don't know, like maybe Hercules? That's not a medieval.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I can't think of any offhand right now.
Yeah, I got nothing. And if you haven't seen an episode of the show, this is the greatest show I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's one of, for me, if not the best. But they got to stick the landing here, and they're not really doing it.
Well, yeah, they stick the landing. But up until basically last episode, has been the single greatest TV show I've ever seen. Like, I have other shows that I absolutely love and will love forever, but this show is beyond anything I've ever seen. So
we got Adam here. I wonder if Jamie's going to mess with Danny's goal. I think he's going to kill Cersei. I think,
or at least try to.
She's going to try to set the whole city on wildfire. She's going to be like desperate, and she's going to have like an escape route. But Jamie's going to be there, pop out of nowhere, and they're going to stay dying together in the Red Keep as everything burns down around them. I think that's going to happen. Rivers was the bastard name. Yep. Sam and Ghost understand, but Tormund, yeah, I would have loved to see Tormund keep going with Jon.
Yeah, but him going as far south as it was, I can't.
Right.
Like, if he actually had to take off more of those furs, I think he'd probably be like, I feel naked. Like, So I don't think that would have worked.
Right. We got Cersei, poetic villain, Night King fan villain. You're kind of right because I wanted to see the background of the Night King. We didn't get to see that.
But he's also more of
or
an
some kind of a
villain too.
Cersei's more interesting. He doesn't. We don't know anything about the Night King.
That's
or his
why
motivations or
I'm
anything.
more interested in him. Like
I mean,
we already know why
visually,
Cersei.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I disagree with that, but that's just my opinion. Prediction: Danny will go full Mad Queen, and John will kick her and abolish.
Kill.
Oh, sorry, misread. Kick is kill. Why did I do that? Abolish the Iron Throne. No single person should have the power over millions. Maybe.
I can't see him killing her unless she's like legit gone insane and he's like, Cersei, no.
Cersei, no.
He kind of pulls the X3 and do it.
Oh yeah, right.
Wolverine with
what a way to quote him.
Yeah, I know, right?
I really want to see the last episode as a 2-hour throwdown battle on Cersei and the aftermath. Yeah, I think that was referencing what I said earlier about having the Night King battle be like the big climax, and then we have like a whole big episode as a falling action.
Yeah.
And that could involve some kind of battle too, but it would happen a little bit more quickly. That's kind of what I would have preferred. Jaime will kill Cersei, and after learning Euron got her pregnant.
I don't think he did.
I don't know. I think she's holding something to the chest there. Either she's not pregnant at all or it's Jaime's kid.
Yeah.
Is Arya pregnant? I doubt it. I don't think so. Yeah. But it is possible, I guess. Hi, Rocco and Ren and Stimpy fan. Will Jaime live to behead / kill Cersei? I think, like I said, he's gonna like be holding her. They're gonna die together. Yeah, they're gonna come in. They're gonna go out of this world the same way they came into this world. That's what I think's gonna happen.
Messed up.
Tyrion was going to die during that ship raid. I don't think he was gonna die, but
I did kind of like. I didn't expect it, but I thought like maybe I could see just like shish kebab Tyrion in a second. Like, oh god, that's how he,
Rocco and Ren Stimpy fan. Toonami is awesome. It is awesome. Yes. Iron Man for Game of Thrones. Hell yeah. Get the Stark in there. I liked episode 3, but episode 4 was even better. Great story and character subplots. Danny will be Mad Queen for sure. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jill. Bron's storyline was cool. That was an interesting scene. I agree with that.
Yeah. Danny versus King Kong.
Danny versus King Kong. Let's do it. Kong Island. Kong's Landing.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Bittersweet ending could also be Jon killing Danny to protect the Realm Kingdom. I kind of think that's one of the more possible endings that's going to happen. Azor Ahai equals Aegon Targaryen equals Jon Snow. I think that's what we all kind of expected, but Jon also didn't kill the Night King. So maybe it wasn't the Night King that he was professed to kill. Maybe it was the true threat to the realm, which is maybe Danny now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Jake says, there are all these clever fan theories and plot twists people think of, but none are going to happen. Danny goes crazy. Jon kills Danny. Jon is forced to be king. Predictable and bittersweet. Bad writing. I don't know if it's necessarily bad writing. Depends on how they execute that. But yeah, that is probably the most predictable thing about what's going to happen. You're right there, Jake. Aaron Johnson, what are your guys' opinion about The Untouchables? Terrific detective film and TV show. It would be interesting to have a review involving the film and hilarious skit built in. I love The Untouchables movie.
It's a great movie.
I'm not talking about that exactly right now, but I do love The Untouchables movie. There's a lot of stuff that was filmed around Chicago, I think. It's a good movie. I haven't really seen too much of the show. I could see history repeating with everyone's saying Mad Queen Danny.
Like,
I don't want that to happen.
I feel like that would be kind of on the lazy writing. Like
maybe, John didn't die, Shay. Did John die? No. But yeah, it might be kind of on the lazier side. Cersei is lying about pregnancy to try and keep Jaime, trick Tyrion so he makes mistakes. Which, man, Tyrion is extra dumb this season, man. He is extra dumb, making all the wrong decisions. He's more playing off his emotion than ever before, and that's a step forward for the character, but a major step backward for him as a Hand of the King or a politician.
Yeah. Trap and Trapture Euron in the Alliance. Euron would be there either way, even if she was like, "No, I'm not pregnant yet. Got to keep on trying, there, Bucko."
Right.
So he would be there either way.
Right. Euron will tell Jaime that he got pregnant. He probably will, but I don't know how that's going to affect him or what the truth of that is.
Like this.
Right.
Yeah. He heard that she was pregnant before any of that. So.
Right. Jay Passmore says, Cersei, any last words? Now's the time. Sandy grabs Cersei and leaps from the wall. Talk about a missed opportunity. That would have been awesome, actually. Yeah. Dracarys and then jump. Iron Man test. Spoilers lift tomorrow on that. So I'm gonna have a spoiler review of Endgame going up soon. So stay tuned for that. In the first place, she made it up to try and keep him. Yeah, she might. I think she probably made it up, but maybe she's pregnant. I don't know.
After tonight's episode, Danny is super pissed at Tyrion.
Yeah, man, what a great
Yeah.
face acting by Emilia Clarke. Just no words, big old face close up there, and we just go to see her go from being really sad to like really worried to like panicky to angrier, slightly angrier, infuriated.
Yeah, she was
fantastic
just-
with no words needed in there at all.
Yeah, that was.
Varys, Caesar says Varys will be ashes by the next episode. Oh, you expect Danny to go say burn them all? That might be happening. That might be a real thing that might be said.
Maybe, but with those giant crossbow things, like it's gonna be.
We'll see what happens.
That's gonna be a fight for sure.
Yeah, Varys though, I
He's
could see
probably gonna
Varys
die.
maybe dying.
I could see him dying.
Yeah, because he survived for so long. So, hello, yes, Ariel, hello, hi, hi to everyone who's watching.
Hello.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Not as much stuff to talk about as last week. We've been going for almost an hour anyway, though. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll be back hopefully next week with
Yeah, I hope so.
with just 2 more left here. So the second to last episode of Game of Thrones.
Definitely hyped for next week for sure.
I'm like still excited. I'm still invested. Just I don't care as much about the Cersei stuff. Don't understand why Danny doesn't attack at night to go better protect her dragon. Well, in the preview they showed like the dragon kind of being in the sun, so they can't see where the dragon's coming from. So kind of an opposite version.
I would
of that.
do it. Yeah.
I hope the Duncan Egg spinoff happens. Yeah, the Duncan Egg novels are fantastic.
I've heard. Yeah, we've talked.
A Night of the
about
Seven
it,
Kingdoms is a combination of 3 novellas that George R. R. Martin released, which takes place about 100 years before the events of Game of Thrones starts, and it's about Aegon the Unlikely and Sir Duncan the Tall.
Who's is he?
He's yeah.
Uncle or?
No, some kind of relation. They haven't revealed what relation he is to Brienne of Tarth, but he is a descendant, or she is a descendant of him. So they have ties in there. And that kid who was like a little kid Targaryen grew up to be king. He was like the 4th son. This was the Maester at
Night's Watch.
At the Night's Watch. Aemon's Maester Aemon's brother.
Yeah.
Little brother, which is weird. He was old, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any other quick notes here? I think Jaime Lannister is going back so he can kill Cersei. He is the only one that could get close to her. I agree. If you could bring back one GOD character, who would you bring back? Robb Stark for me, says Caesar. Who would you bring back?
Dude, that's a rough one.
Ooh, Shireen. I bring back Shireen. That was the one that I thought was too far.
Yeah.
Robb would be interesting. It wouldn't have as much impact on the plot, but I really like Shireen, so that was unfortunate.
I don't know who I'd bring back. Hodor.
Because
he was an innocent.
But it was a perfect.
Oh, it was a
send-off,
perfect send off, but still, it hurt so bad.
It did hurt very bad.
Bring back Ned Stark.
Ned Stark, Ned Stark. I would love to see his reaction to all this stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to see what else. Clegane Bowl. Yes, I really want to see Clegane Bowl.
Yeah.
Single duel before the battle or during the battle or not? I think during the battle.
During the battle, for sure.
They're going to kill each other or something, or he's going to kick him into fire. The Hound is going to kick Mountain into fire or something like that. I think Arya is going to kill the Mountain. I think the Hound might die. That's a good prediction there.
Yeah.
Nick says bring back Ned Stark. Jon Snow is always my favorite kind of Stark, I guess we could say. I honestly think Cersei may win now. Yeah, the volume, it's a possibility, I guess. The volume of now much larger scorpions around the city. What? The city would be able to eliminate Drogon, eliminating Dany's only advantage possible. Surprised we didn't get Rickon's body come back during the battle in the crypt. Her and Sansa face to face. That would have been interesting. You're right.
Yeah.
I hated the way they ended things for Ghost. I agree with you.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yash Wanth. I agree with you 100%. We're going to wrap it up here, folks. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know what happens to the Outlaws. I don't know what happens to the Night's Watch now. We're going to have to see what happens going forward. I don't know if they're going to address that. It seems like a small potatoes now.
Yeah.
But we're going to wrap it up. We'll be back next week and hopefully the week after that to wrap up this show. I'll be back here with more videos very soon. I've been posting a lot this week, so you guys go back and watch a lot of stuff that I posted.
Give them some likes.
Yeah, spitting everywhere. Subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, get
make
that
sure
bell on.
You click that stupid bell, so because YouTube's notification ways of notifying you when things are posted as new videos come up on here it's a little weird. So make sure you do that. My brain's all twisted right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm usually better at writing things out. That's why I don't like talking like these kind of things
Off
a
the
lot of the
top.
time. Right. I'm not great off the cuff, but thanks guys for watching. Bye. I'll see you guys later. We'll be back next week though, and I'll be back with a new video soon.
Yeah.
Bye everybody.
Take care.
And